Lord knows I'm knowing I ain't the savior, but the least that I could do is try to lead them to him. And we are so broken in our behavior, but imagine what we could do if my people knew him. When I never had nothing, the hood was there, but I didn't have nothing, I couldn't care. Then I met the risen Christ and was given life, so now I'm living life to give him life. What I shouldn't share, betraying the homeboys, I wouldn't dare. But if I say I love him, gotta tell him the truth. The fatherless follow us and then get swallowed up by the same game that swallowed us. It's obvious we fell in the youth. You see that Ruger in his hand glistening, that little shooter think you'll love him if he busts for you, but you were just using him for your ambitions, and he couldn't see nothing because he trusted you. He gave his life for your hype, he's doing life for a stripe, and you won't even write, bro, a kite. You need the little homies living wrong to get it on. That's why you ain't the one that's trying to fight for what's right for real. Hope you listen, I ain't dissing, I'm trying to plead with you. And every rally that's in it and got some influence. The little homies is listening to what you feed. If you said it, he did it, ain't no coincidence. The big homies raised us to die for him. On the other hand, it was Christ gave his life for us. They said that love's earned, so we would ride for him, but God love with no return, somebody lied to us. Brotherly love overcomes our destruction. That's the acronym for blood, right? Christ's love overcame our destruction. I guess he the only one doing blood right. Community, revolution, and progress. That's the acronym for crib, right? Christ unity's the solution to progress. I guess he the only one doing crib right. Somebody lied to us. Somebody lied to us. Somebody lied to us. Come on, somebody lied to us. You see it, somebody lied to us. I swear somebody lied to us. They wouldn't be the ones that would die for us. Christ did it on the cross, somebody lied to us. I try to talk to the streets, but they don't learn. Till you can't help them, you gotta tell them it's your turn. Chill time is a candle with a slow burn. That's if you blessed with death, it's no return. Off the porch and we came out of broken homes. Never seen a happy family porch till we broken homes.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Big J Britt. Thank you for joining me. That was 7 with the song Somebody Lied, featuring Hurt off his new record Church in the Jungle. I never had a chance to check out my man. He's vicious, man. He gets a lot of persecution from the church because, you know, they're uptight and everything, and dude got saved later in life, and you know he lived the hood life, man. Everything he raps about is real, and he talks to the people. Like, you can't. I'm a big thing. It's a mental thing. Like, we go into it. We say it all the time that some of the most judgmental people in the world are people in the church, because they think, you know, they're better than everybody else. I'm not saying everybody thinks this way, but you look down on people. There's a song by Joyce Meyer called Dear Mr. Christian, and the last verse and the very last line before the end of the song is he said, you know, you really need me around because who else you gonna look down on? So it's basically people who are the church looking down on, whatever it's 3 verses of 3 different people of talking about, you know, the reason that I do this wrong, the reason I'm doing this out of your eyes is because I don't know any better. Nobody's ever taught me. I have to do it. You know, one guy was abused and got picked up by somebody else who runs a porn business, and he didn't have anywhere else to go, so he took him in, and he's drinking and doing drugs because he's hiding his hurt and his pain and his shame because of what he's doing, but he had nowhere else to turn. So he's saying, Dear Mr. Christian, you know, maybe you can pray for me because I know you can't see me because you're never watching the stuff that I do, but there's reasons I'm doing what I'm doing. I have nowhere else to turn, or so he thinks. But then we in a church, what do? We turn our backs on them because they're not doing what we need to do. Let me tell you something. If you truly believe in what you say you believe, Christ did not sit in the sanctuary. Christ did not sit in the temple and wait for people to come to him. He went to the people and delivered the message to them. So if you're not doing that, then you're as wrong as the people you're trying to persecute on. And that's why I dig my man 7, because he's giving it to. Listen, you got to understand, when you go into the hoods, when you go into the ghettos, when you go into the areas where gangster rap and everything is prevalent, if you go in there with some contemporary Christian music, nobody's listening. Nobody's going to turn that on. Even if you put on some of the R&B, Christian R&B, people aren't listening. Even if you put on some of the Christian rap, because they're not feeling the lyrics. You got to understand that a lot of the things that go with hip-hop is the lyrics and how it's delivered. If you listen to the words, it's intelligence. People are putting lines together, and it's poetic. But if you're not saying something that's going to speak to the person, you're trying to save this person. And if all you're doing is saying, do this, do that, do this, do that, they're going to turn you off. Because at the end of the day, we're all like children, man. We're all like children. We hide our wrongdoings, and we don't like to be confronted. We don't like to be told we're doing something wrong. So if that's all you're doing, and that's what 7 gives it to him. Listen, I did this, and it figures the phone's ringing. Hold on. Sorry about that. But yeah, so he tells him, yo, this is what I was doing. I understand this, and gives it to him. Like, that song was about the Bloods and the Crips. Like, man, you're supposed to be a part of a group, but it's supposed to be, do you even know what you're signing up for? A lot of people don't even know what they're signing up for. And that's not just about gangs. That's about anything in life. Do you really know what you're signing up for? When somebody comes to you and offers you something, even in the church, listen, your boy right here, 2005, went up to the altar and gave my life to Christ. But I didn't understand what I was getting myself in for. I didn't truly understand it. I did it because my wife rededicated herself. She grew up in the church. I did not. I knew I started going. I felt it. I was like, wow, this is something powerful here. But it wasn't anything that I necessarily was like, man, this is great. I feel like I did feel it. Let me retract that. I did feel it, but I didn't. So I knew it's what I wanted to do, but I didn't have an understanding of what it meant. See, to me, it was always, how do I become T.D. Jakes? How do I become Pastor Bernard? How do I become more like these great men that I see on TV and read about and all this stuff? When now it took me almost 11, 12 years to fully understand it. And God kicked me upside the head last week. We are not supposed to magnify ourselves up, or to, God doesn't want us to become all this, whatever. Each one of us has a gift. Each one of us has things inside of us that we are good at. No matter what it is, we all are going to see. That's the problem we fall into is, just because you like something does not mean you're going to be good at it. Listen, I like to draw, but I suck. I cannot draw for the life of me, man. You know what I mean? Like, but I would love to sing. Listen, I'm a musician. I played the drums for most of my all my teenage life and a little bit into my early 20s. And I always want, dude, anybody knows me knows I'm a large personality. I love to be in front. So I'm perfect to be a singer, but I can't sing with the lick of me. And I had to understand that. So I say all that to say that God has stuff in you that he needs. And all you have to do is open up and change the way you think, change the way you see things. And God will magnify who you are, because he made you just the way he wanted you to be. He made you 100% the way he wanted you to be. And it's up to us to bring him in to us and allow him to magnify what we are. If it's an artist, if it's a singer, if it's, like in my case, I got the gift of gab, bro. I can talk for days and days and days. I used to write little poems. I used to write lyrics to songs. Listen, I got to get back in it because that's my creativity. I have the ADHD thing where my mind goes a million miles a minute. It could be a hindrance, or it could be a blessing. The blessing is, as you're sitting there thinking about one thing, my mind's so crazy, I'm thinking about 7 things at once. It's just having that, being able to be honed in. How do you hone that in? Well, we can't unless your mind is set on a purpose, unless your mind is set on something bigger than yourself. Because if all you're worried about is what's right in front of you, you're only going to do. Think about this. What do they always tell you when you learn how to punch? If you just punch the thing that's right in front of you, you're not getting your full power. You punch through what's in front of you, because that's how you maximize your power. You punch through it. because your mind is set up to stop your hand when it gets to the point. So you go to punch a bag or whatever, and once you get to it, you're automatically, without even knowing it, slowing down before you even get there, because if this is where you're going, that's as far as you go. But you learn how to punch through it, it's a lot different. Punch the hand, punch through it. It's a lot different. So it's the same thing with how we set our minds. Are you focused on just what's in front of you? Are you focused on everything that's going on around you? Are you focused on where you're going? Are you focused on your purpose, your sole purpose, what you're trying to accomplish? And how far down the road are you willing to look and accept? I was listening to Joyce Meyer the other day, and she said something. Listen, I had a whole mental thing going here, and I might have to make a second thing. I'm already 10 minutes into this. So if you're with me, I really thank you. This isn't about sports, obviously. It was supposed to be. But anyway, Joyce Meyer, I was listening to her the other day, a great lesson called Where the Mind Goes, the Man Will Follow. And it's 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Where you go, where your mind goes, meaning what you're thinking about. It's important what you let in your head. It's important what you let bother you. Because if you, like me, I let things bother me without even knowing they bother me. Meaning, I'm out and about, and if somebody does something that I think is dumb or not smart or even just being a butthead or whatever, without knowing it, I'm letting it, like, I'll sit there and talk about it forever. And then once I'm done talking about it, I'm thinking about it for another 20 minutes after that. This person doesn't even know I exist in life, but say they, didn't turn their turn signal on and just got over, not even in front of me, in front of somebody else. I'm like, man, that was a jerk move. Man, I can't believe it. And then I look over at the person and see, oh, man, that person. And now it's on my mind. So now that's on my mind. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about this person that doesn't even know I exist, about something that has nothing to do with me. And now my whole thinking is out of whack because I'm focused on this car not turning the turn signal on. And instead, now, let's just say I'm on my way to the grocery store to get, milk, bread, chips, and I don't know, let's throw something out, some fruit. All right. And this happens. Okay. Your mind's on that. This is what I'm doing. I'm getting milk, bread, chips, fruit. Got it. We go. This happened. Car comes over, cuts dude off. You're like, oh man, that was a jerk. Man, you know what? Oh, let me speed up so I can't let them in front of me because I'm not gonna let them be a jerk to me. And now your whole mind is about this person who just did that in a car. Then you get to the store and you're like, man, what was I supposed to get? That's what I'm talking about. Your focus, your purpose at that moment was to go to the store and get X, Y, and Z. But you're letting this thing over here. Now, am I telling you am I telling you to be unaware of your surroundings? Absolutely not. Be aware of your surroundings. But also be aware of what you're let in your mind. Be aware of what you're allowing to enter inside of you because it's going to affect how you act, how you treat people, how you treat yourself. How you walk, how you talk, how you look, everything affects on what's up in here. If you think negatively, you're going to act negatively. If you expect people to treat you a certain way, if you go around expecting people to turn their backs on you, if you go around expecting people to be nasty to you, if you go around expecting everybody to be mean, then that's how you're going to treat people. And then when it happens to you, you're going to feel vindicated. You're going to be like, see, I knew it. But you're making everybody around you do that because of how you're acting. You don't even realize it. But you're pushing the fact. You're doing things to push people in that direction. Now, am I saying that everybody in this world is perfect and if you act perfect, everybody's going to treat you perfectly? Absolutely not. But you'll feel a lot better about the people that are not doing right if your mind is on right, if your mind is on your purpose, as your mind is focused on what you're doing and where you're going and what you need to be doing, as opposed to paying attention to everybody else that's around you, paying attention to every little thing. All right, why isn't this person doing that? Why is it? Listen, I'm the culprit, man. Listen, I always worry about what everybody else is doing. and I lose focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. I speak to you from out 100% a place of understanding. So that's one thing I'm working on 100% right now. And it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. You got to remember, this is warfare, mental warfare every day, every single day. You wake up, are you going to expect a good day? Are you going to expect good things? Are you going to expect positive things? Or are you going to get up and be like, ugh, it's raining, or ugh, what's going to happen today? Or are you going to wake up and think about the negative stuff that happened yesterday or the negative stuff that happened last week? We got to be able to let stuff go, man. You cannot let it harbor on you, not let it fester on you. You cannot let it sit on you, because all it's going to do is make your attitude stink. It's going to make your whole life just blah and nasty. And again, 100% speaking to the choir right here, I am the biggest culprit of that. All the stuff that's going on right now. Like, listen, I stopped making videos unbeknownst to me because of the fact that I was so discouraged and so upset because other people's actions were making me upset. I was still preaching my message. I was still pushing what God was putting on my tongue, was putting on my heart. And instead, when other people were attacking me, instead of being strong and standing like an oak, I started trying to defend and started trying to get them to understand. And when they didn't, I tried again. And it weakened me to the point where I was like, I didn't even got it in me to do it anymore. So think about that. Your strength starts here. The war starts here. Your strength starts here. Your attitude starts here. Your feelings start here. Everything starts in your mind. Your mind is so absolutely powerful. It's ridiculous. And we don't know it. I tell my kids all the time, the strongest muscle, the strongest anything you have. I know the brain's not really, I don't know. I'm not an anatomy wizard, so forgive me. But your strongest thing in your body, the strongest thing you have is your mind. What are you going to think about? My man at work always says people wear masks all the time. Everybody wears a mask. He's not wrong, because when you leave the house, you smile to people, you shake people's hands that maybe you don't really like, whatever the case may be. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can fake the funk with anybody you want. You could fake the funk with the entire world. You could put on 3 or 4 different masks. You can go to church and put on a mask. You can go to work and put on a mask. Go to the market, put on a mask. Go to your parents' house, put on a mask. Friend's house, whatever. You know what you're thinking. You know who you really, when you go home and look in the mirror, who is looking back at you? Are you looking at the world saying, oh, the world hates me? Well, it's because your thinking's like that. The whole world's against me. Everything sucks. I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, man, this thing's Work is this. Work is boring. It's your thinking. Check your thinking, bro. It's where it all starts. 100% where it all starts. If you go say, you know what? I'm thankful to have this job. I'm thankful to have this opportunity to make this money and pay these bills. It might not be where I'm going to end, but right now it's a blessing to me, and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for these friends. I'm thankful for these parents. I'm thankful to have, you might not be living where you want to live, but do you have a roof over your head? Because I guarantee you there's 1 million people that would trade places with you like that want a roof over their head. Go sleep under the bridge for a little bit and let them sleep in your house and see how much quick you want that house back. Go trade places with somebody who works in a warehouse, breaking their back all the time, and you got a nice job where you don't really, do any labor and make twice as much as they do. Go ahead and switch places with them. See how much you hate your job then. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need to set our minds up for success. Am I expecting you to walk around and smile and be like, no, don't be you. 100% be you. But when something happens to you, find the silver lining in it. Don't always find the negative. It's easy to find a negative in it. Hey, how you doing? It's okay. I'm here. Hey, how you doing? Man, I'm good, man. I'm thankful to be here. Just simple as that. People are going to look at you crazy and be like, what's this cornball talking about? But while you're walking around being upset or whatever, I'm cool, man. You go ahead and talk about me being a cornball, and I'm going to move on, get my paper, and I'm going to go on to the next step in my life because my mind's not on you or what you think about me. My mind's on the next step. Listen, I'm already at 20 minutes, homeboy. So if you're still watching this, bless your heart. I thank you. The moral of the story is check your thinking, man. Check your mind. Watch what you're letting into your mind, because a lot of times what you're let out, matter of fact, if you're still watching, let me look something up real quick. I got to pull up the Bible app. I don't want to misquote it. It's Proverbs 23:7. Give me 2 seconds. Proverbs 23, verse 7. All right. It says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." An Amplified Bible says, "In behavior, one who manipulates." So I say again, for as he thinks in his heart, so is he. So as he thinks, so he will be. As he thinks, as he will be. If you think angry, if you think negative, as you will be. If you think nasty, if you think everybody's out to get you, so he will be. If you think nobody likes you, if you think you're ugly, if you think you're no good at something, so he will be. Even if other people are going to think that, think positive. Yo, I'm the best at what I do. Because even if you're not right now, you're going to work at it to be the best because your mind's on it. Because if you think, therefore you will be. If I'm going to leave you with that, Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Remember that. It's your boy, Big J Britt, JTC on the move. www.jtconthemove.org. Check it out. Check out the gear. Help support the mission. All you got to do is look at the Facebook posts, YouTube channels. Man, E. Wilson is on the move. He was just in New York. He's all over Texas. He was just in Pennsylvania a little bit ago. He's all over the world, man. This cat is crazy, crazy doing big things. And if you can help support the movement, man, it's a nonprofit. All the travels, everything that goes on, everything costs money. Everything costs money. And everything you buy, everything you donate goes 100% into helping travel and get to people in need, mentoring, getting food, water to people when they're in need. So, listen, you need to check it out and become a part of it. And remember, if you're going to have a conversation, make it a good one. Deuces.